Scheme. I hope you guys are doing fantastic today. I'm Mysticle and I'll be bringing you the latest in AR and VR news. Now before we begin, so many of you guys have been telling me about your data privacy and how much you care about it in the comments section throughout the last few years, which is why I would like to introduce you to today's video sponsor, Incogni. If you really looked into it, thousands of data brokers are online selling your data every single day. However, what you also need to know is the fact that if you ask these data brokers to remove your data, they actually legally have to, which is fantastic news. The unfortunate thing is though, there's so many of them, ain't nobody got time for that. Which is where Incogni comes in. Incogni will actually scour the internet for you and contact these data brokers on your behalf to reduce the amount of these annoying spam calls that you get, as well as of course help prevent your information leaking in data breaches. And these happen a lot. In America, this can actually become an even larger problem with people's search sites. These are sites that actually hold personal profiles on millions of Americans. Anyone can look these up. They can hold things like your family members, your home addresses, your license plates, and a whole ton more. And at the worst times, they can even lead to identity theft. The good thing about Incogni is the fact that they will actually consistently keep asking these data brokers to remove your data, as long as you're subscribed. Because a lot of the time, they will actually go back and publish your data again, even after you've asked them to remove it. And Incogni will actually also give you a list showing you where they've removed your data from. So, what are you waiting for? Use the link we have down in the description below, get yourself a discount, and remove your data from the internet. Thank you once again to Incogni for sponsoring today's video. As usual, you've got chapters down below to skip to any specific part of this video that you might be most interested in. With that being said, let's get right into it. So, the first piece of news that we have today is actually about the Netflix app. As some of you may know, the Quest actually has a native Netflix app, which means an application that you can download inside the Quest store and watch Netflix in it. Now, as others of you may know, it isn't very good. That, and of course now, with multiple Quest upgrades, including being able to watch Netflix inside the browser, well, that app is pretty much useless. And that's probably exactly why it's getting discontinued. Posted by Nathy on Twitter on July 15th, the Netflix app will no longer be available, but you can enjoy it by visiting netflix.com on your Quest browser. And this is exactly why I believe the Netflix app is actually getting discontinued, is because it got that support inside the Quest browser. Meaning, well, supporting the native app is pretty much useless now. I mean, everything you could do inside that app and more you can do inside the browser, including watching in pass-through and in higher resolution, because the resolution you could watch inside the app was actually quite shocking. So, might not come as a surprise to many of you, but still an interesting piece of news. Now on another topic, let's move on to Pico. As you might remember, Pico actually promised us full body motion trackers. And by Luna on Twitter, the Pico Motion Tracker 2.0. Overall, I like the design of these. They look like a light version of Slime VR, and it seems that they clip on and off onto the bands. It's always nice having something smaller and lightweight on your body compared to, say, Vive trackers. Those need to be tracked by lighthouses and therefore need to be rather large in order for their surface area to work here. Of course, now you have those universal trackers from Vive that actually are entirely standalone. They're brilliant, but they're also expensive. These are supposed to work standalone and apparently also have somewhat of 6DoF tracking, even though according to the comments, that's somewhat debatable. According to Lun, in a comment underneath that, 6DoF, I wonder if they're using cheap time of flight laser or something. They're all like, don't cover this area, but the FCC/ISED stuff doesn't say anything about light emitting. Wait a sec, CRTC Pico isn't available in Canada. What does it mean? Either way though, I'm certainly quite interested in this. Those of you that have been with the channel for a while know that we try all sorts of different types of full body tracking, and the cheaper and more adoptable that it is, the better. Can't wait to see how well this performs. Apple is apparently twisting things again, as they might be asking LG and Samsung in order to create their displays for the cheaper Vision Pro. If you guys have been watching the videos for a while now, you know that Apple is struggling to work on that cheaper Vision Pro. They've been working with Sia Technology and BOE in China in order to produce cheaper displays, but apparently those haven't necessarily been meeting their standards. Well, now, according to Upload VR, they may be looking to Samsung and LG for those displays instead. The Elec claims Apple sent a request for information to both companies inquiring about technical information necessary for product development. The outlet further claims Apple specified a 2 to 2.1 inch display with a pixel density of 1,700 pixels per inch PPI. For comparison, the Sony supplied micro-OLED displays in Vision Pro are 1.42 inch with a pixel density of 3386 ppi, providing a resolution of 3660 by 3200. Assuming the panels have the same aspect ratio, this would mean the new displays have a resolution of somewhere around 2600 by 2300, or around 2500 by 2500 if they were square. This lower display could be easier to manufacture at scale and thus cheaper, driving down the cost of the cheaper Apple Vision headset that many outlets have reported Apple is currently focused on shipping by the end of next year. This isn't new to Apple. As a matter of fact, they've worked with Samsung before in order to produce displays for their phones. So again, this wouldn't be surprising. And if we are to look at these numbers, they would certainly be cheaper. So it's nice to see that Apple is looking towards other avenues when it comes to these displays and not necessarily giving up when things don't meet their standards. I just hope that them taking it from LG or Samsung doesn't drive up the price too much. Ultraleap reportedly plans to sell its Leap Motion hand tracking group amid major layoffs. So if you guys remember, there was a little device, it was called Leap Motion. It could track your hands and everything. I actually have one right over there. Now Ultraleap has had major layoffs in the last few days. I've been seeing people posting about being laid off on Twitter, and I wish you guys all the best of luck in your future endeavors. The startups, formerly known as Ultra Haptics and the Leap Motion, appear to be heading in separate directions again after 5 years together, ended in significant layoffs. A Sky News report cites sources as saying the company is halving its workforce and plans to seek a buyer for its hand tracking business. Developer Max Thomas posted on X that he was looking for work after the US team at Ultraleap was laid off. This is actually the tweet I believe I saw. An Ultraleap spokesperson provided the following statement to Sky News. Since the company was established in 2019, Ultraleap has gained international recognition as the leading innovator in mid-air haptic and hand tracking technologies. This is true. They actually have the best hand tracking tech on the market right now. And if you guys have seen what these trackers are able to do, it's absolutely crazy. During this period, customer needs and behaviors have continually evolved, and we need to adapt our strategy to reflect these changes. After much consideration, we have made the difficult decision to reshape some of our divisions and reduce the size of our team. This decision has not been taken lightly, but it is necessary for us to adapt our business to better serve our market and our customers. We deeply appreciate the hard work and dedication of everyone who has contributed to building Ultraleap. So there you go, that's interesting. After 5 years, they might be splitting up once again. What could this mean for the two companies going forward? I'm not entirely certain. How well will one do without the other? I guess that remains to be seen. I do hope that they do not stop developing hand tracking tech though, as I was really excited to see where they go in the future. What they currently have is brilliant. Where they could go even further, making things even smaller and cheaper, well, I was excited to see. Rec Room full body avatars are now available in beta to absolutely everyone. However, these avatars still don't support body tracking. Those legs will not do exactly what your legs do, but at least you will have legs instead of being beans. Well, they're optional, so you can still be a bean if you want to. Full body avatars are an optional alternative to Rec Room's current avatars, which only feature a head, torso, and hands. The feature started rolling out in beta in March, but was limited to level 50 players at first. Competitor VRChat has supported full body avatars driven by body tracking hardware for many years now, while Meta's Horizon Worlds added full bodies last year. Though like Rec Room, it still currently doesn't support full body tracking. Rec Room says it's still working to support full body tracking on Steam VR, such as via strapping on 3 or more Vive trackers or using Quest 3's inside-out upper body tracking on PC via Virtual Desktop. The company isn't giving a specific timeline for this though, and hasn't said whether Quest 3's IOBT will be supported on standalone. For now, Rec Room full bodies are driven with inverse kinematics, meaning the system will attempt to estimate the likely positions of your limbs based on the position of your head and hands. So this is the way most full body avatars are actually driven if you don't have full body tracking, and it's worked quite well so far. Of course, if you have the trackers to drive full body, it would be nicer to actually have the option to have full body, but they're working on it, and hopefully it will be coming in the near future. Talking about the Vision Pro, it's now open to pre-orders in the UK, Canada, Germany, France, and Australia. The Vision Pro is actually expanding where you can buy it, and now it's going on pre-order in those countries. In all 5 of these countries, the headset will start shipping on July 12th. There will also be available demos in Apple stores. In the UK, the Vision Pro starts at £3,500. In Canada, it starts at 5,000 Canadian dollars. In Germany and France, it starts at 4,000 euro, and in Australia, it starts at 6,000 Australian dollars. This comes just hours after the headset launched in China, Japan, and Singapore. The first few countries outside the US where the Vision Pro launched in February. This means that after July 12th, the Apple Vision Pro will be available in a total of 9 countries. In comparison, the Meta Quest headsets are currently sold in 23 countries, including all the Vision Pro countries except China. It's nice to see the Vision Pro launching in more countries and finally being available to more users. As I said before, Germany is right next to me. We might actually be able to drive over and try out one of these headsets inside an Apple store, as I've been hearing some pretty good things about it. And now more people will get to see it as well, as ordering one from the US here in Europe was possible in the past, but was quite a treacherous thing, including import taxes and other lovely things that you have to go through in order to buy things from the US and bring them over, unless you flew over and brought it back with you. Either way though, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. If you guys like this one, please leave a like. If you disliked it, I guess this one works too, but let me know why down below. If you guys are not yet part of our community, check out our Discord and our Reddit down below, where I want to see you posting your spicy memes. And thank you so much to everyone supporting the channel in any way, shape, or form. Whether you're a Patreon, whether you buy me a coffee, or whether you support the channel in any way. Seriously, much love to you guys. You are what makes this possible. And as usual, if you want me to notify future content coming up on the channel, make sure to smash the subscribe button with your forehead, ding my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace. It's 33 degrees outside and 19 inside. This is actually my definition of the sun crashing with the earth. Like, this is actually my definition of that. I'm used to Irish weather. It's currently 17 degrees and raining where I used to live.
I do not want to go out into that.